Welcome to the Young
Echo
Podcast.
with your hosts, PJ and PG. Hey, welcome everyone to the Young Echo Podcast. This is PJ and
PG, and it's February.
it's
February.
February is a packed month.
I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Did you do anything for Valentine's Day with your Valentine?
No, I did read something that the happiest couples don't do anything for Valentine's Day, so we're happy.
Oh, were you even in town?
I
for
was.
Valentine's?
I got back on the 13th in the evening, and I from 40 hours of travel
40 hours.
with almost 2 hours of sleep in that 40 hours. I've never been so tired. I've done long trips before.
Yeah.
I've done lots of time zones, but I just think you're getting older. I'm getting older. Not everybody
You're
is.
getting
I'm
older.
getting older.
Yeah, everyone is getting older.
Yeah.
That's true.
And for some reason, sometimes I've taken these long trips and I slept like 5 or 6 hours on the plane, got at least, some sleep. This one I had no sleep. I felt like I was going to throw up when I got home. I felt like I couldn't sleep. And then when you get to sleep, you wake up and the time zone's off. So you wake up and you're awake, but then you need more sleep. It was a bad 2 days, but I was here for Valentine's Day, not awake.
So your gift to your wife was, I'm here
I'm here.
asleep.
Yes, I'm here and not feeling good and tired. So
Take care of me.
yes, I give you the gift of care. Yes.
Of a weak man after a long trip.
Yes. So I was, just so everybody knows, I was on scouting, kind of looking at what we're going to do this summer in Malawi.
Nice.
Malawi is in Africa. For those who hear that and think Hawaii, for some reason, we talk to.
It does sound very islandy.
Maui or something.
It sounds islandy.
Yeah, it does. They do have mountains. We were told by somebody they don't have a lot of mountains. They do have some. It is, and I looked this up when I was there. There's 80% or 70 to 80% of the population of Malawi earns less than $2 a day. It's the poorest country that's still safe to travel to. There's other poor countries that we wouldn't want to travel to, but we can still travel to it. So it's the poorest country in Africa that we can still go to. We saw some churches that their benches are mud, just mud benches, or clay, and 300 people meet in the size of, we would think maybe 20 people could meet in, maybe 30, and they have 300 people that cram in this small area. They need churches, and everyone walks. And so that's why there's lots of little churches, but as soon as there's a structure, people come. It's really cool.
Really?
Yeah. It was
So
cool
what is so you're planning, obviously this was a pre-trip planning trip for the mission trip you're doing.
Yeah. We stay at the hospital. We were looking at serving the hospital. They have a lot of stuff that's going on. They have a lot of needs. But we went into the community and we found a church that needs a roof. And they literally dig their clay up and they get wood and they fire. They make bricks and they can make a structure. But then that stops there. So they have their homes that some of them have some thatch roofs and some things, but their churches just are walls. A lot of them, the ones we saw. So we're going to go into one with about 12 or 13 people and basically buy and then construct and weld on site and put a steel roof on for the church. Yeah.
So you're putting a roof over their head.
Yes.
Look at
so
that.
They can get out of the rain and out of the sun. Yeah. Yep.
So let me ask you this: 40 hours of travel.
Yes.
How in the world is this taking 40 hours to get there?
Well, layovers and on the way back it did a little bit longer because you stopped because of from what I understand, I'm not a scientist, but from the way the earth rotates, they have to stop we didn't stop for fuel on the way there, but we stopped for fuel on the way back. So I was like, how do we make it there? It was like a 13-hour flight there, but it was 18 hours coming back because we had to stop for an hour and a half in Rome and refuel. So I'm like,
So did you get off the plane?
No, you stay on the plane.
Oh, wow.
So it's like
I've never been in one of those.
Yeah. And we had two of those. We went from Malawi, we flew down to Mozambique, and then we waited an hour and we flew to Ethiopia, and you wait there like 5 hours because you're waiting for your next flight. And then you fly an 18-hour flight, and then you wait like 4 more. And so those layovers plus the fueling stops, it just took forever.
So is this your longest traveling time ever? 40 hours?
We did a Fiji trip a few years ago, mission trip, and that was about 40 hours, but it's different because some of that's on boat and some of that we stayed in a hotel and kind of were able to lay down, and it's like, so it's a little different.
So that's more door to door.
Yeah. Door to door it was 40.
But with boats included.
Yeah. Boats and everything. So it's a little bit.
Do you count that as part of it?
When you land at the airport and you drive straight to the place, and you're still transporting to the place where you stay. If you stayed a couple nights, then I'm like, nah, you didn't.
So what about this? We once did a Kenya mission trip. So once we got on there, then we got on a truck to go. So the truck counts for you.
For a transfer, if you don't like spend the night or like on the way there, I'll tell you this on the way.
So the first time it stops counting is when you spend a night.
Yeah, I spent the night in a hotel in DC on the way there, so I don't count that as a whole travel because I had like a good 6-7 hours of sleep at the hotel. So I'm like, I don't count that.
Okay.
But if I get off the plane, go to the next thing, and start driving, like that 40 hours it was a taxi ride to the airport. Like whenever from door to door is 40 hours. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what my longest is. I think 30-ish hours. So today we have a guest with us, so we might as well bring him in right now.
Since we haven't yet.
It's Pastor Day, right?
Yeah.
And so you could be called PD, but when we first told him that, he did not like that because he thought of someone who wasn't good. But I was just thinking police department.
Yeah, I went with Pastor Day. I was like, well, you can't use that.
Well, let's not even mention that.
Probably not. But I was thinking about we can say P Day.
P Day.
P Day.
See, I think that reminds me more of the other one than police department.
P Day is like a day I'm going to go pee. That's what I felt. Sorry.
Let's keep it at Pastor Day.
Yeah, let's keep it at Pastor Day. All right. Yeah. Thank you for ruining that one.
I was like, so we have PG, PJ, and P Day. You know?
All right.
But now I'm definitely not.
No.
Now you can't. Sorry. That's where. I'm sorry.
Leave it to Jeff to ruin something really nice.
That's my goal.
We can't have anything nice because of PG. Hey, so what's the longest you've traveled?
On plane or
just a trip?
Yeah.
I mean, I traveled from just across the country.
Okay.
Just a couple of days, but on a vehicle.
A vehicle,
driving,
pretty much from the East Coast to the West Coast.
That's still tough. That's
tough.
tough.
I mean, that's a 48 hours of driving.
Yeah.
I traveled with my wife, and that was fun.
Okay.
Because she makes it fun.
Yeah,
nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
That's what you should have said.
Yes.
So perfect. You did it.
There was no sarcasm, by the way. Those who were listening, I was waiting for the joke, but no, he was being serious. That's good. Yeah.
It's not boring at all.
Yeah. That's good.
Sweet. So hey.
Wait, by the way, speaking of that, like setting somebody up, or my taxi driver asked me, he's like, do you have two wives? And I was like, no. he's like, oh, in America, do they have? I was like, well, some places out west, they have two. I was like, but and he's Muslim, so we start talking, and I was like, I don't think biblically, even he's like, if it's legal, would you? And I was like, no. And we're talking for like an hour. At the end of the hour, he's like, I have two wives. I was like, okay. I was like,
he set you up.
I don't believe in it, not at all. I think this is terrible. By the way, I do.
Yeah.
Did you not see that coming? I mean, I saw it coming from a mile away.
I didn't because we were talking about other things about different cultures and things, and he's Muslim. How there's similarities, like he doesn't drink, and I don't like. We were talking about that, and then no, I did not see it coming.
Wow.
I still stand by what I said. So.
I mean, good. I mean, you should still stand by what you said.
The Lord sealed your eyes.
Yes,
until it was time.
Maybe that's exactly what he needed to hear.
Yeah, he's gonna go home and his big thing was if you in Malawi, if you can support them. That's the only, if you can like give them a better life, then you can. If you can't, then you shouldn't. Like that was his whole, I mean, again, doesn't to me justify it, but that's how he looks at it. Yeah. Anyways.
I mean, there's some virtue to that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he's not doing it willy nilly.
Yeah. He's counting. He's making sure he can support. And I'm like, so I told him to go and leave one. No, I didn't.
Leave one.
And how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you choose?
I'm not sure that's biblical either, though.
No,
I think once you're in it, you're in it.
Once you're in it, you're in it. I mean, they have kids. They have two houses.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
In today's world, because I do think the Bible says be a husband of one.
I do think wife. you could still support, like if he became Christian, let's say, if he was literally asking me, what do I do in this situation? I think we've had a little bit of this conversation. Like, I think he can support and choose one to be intimate with. I think you can. I think you could say, I'm going to support one and choose. I think you can.
So no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm actually disagreeing with you more on the other side, as in, I think he needs to stay married to both.
So this is actually, if I may, so I'm not even gonna. Anyway, so we had an event.
His church is in Canada.
Somewhere in Mars.
Okay, right.
Somewhere in Mars. Yeah.
So we had an evangelistic effort, and we had Pastor Roger Hernandez, come out, and we always had like a Q&A. And somebody asked about. so the topic was, being equally yoked and sort of, going. And so in the Q&A, they asked, so what if you're unequally yoked and you're married already? Like what do I do now? And so Pastor Roger was like, no, if you're together, like stay together, right?
I mean, the Bible specifically says that. You will try to bring them too,
Yeah.
But then later, I found out that it was actually a Muslim wife. And there was like someone else. There was another wife and then the Muslim husband.
Oh.
So, I'm like, Roger, we didn't know this, but just in the back room. And he's like, oh, well, that changes everything. He didn't give me an answer, but.
So wait, no, I don't understand. So what changed it exactly?
So essentially what the question was.
Did the guy who asked the question or the person who asked they were Muslim?
A lady.
She was Muslim.
Not Muslim. She identified as Christian. The husband is Muslim and has another wife.
Gotcha.
And she's in it. She's one of the wives.
Yeah.
So she was like, so her question was, if you're married already, since you gave us all these principles about do not be unequally yoked.
Yeah.
What do you do? He took it as, just a normal.
Two people.
Yeah, and by the way, so he said, stay with your spouse. But now.
And by the way, real quick, the unequal yoke thing, I believe it's somebody who professes like an atheist that says there's no God or doesn't believe in God, and I'm dating them and I'm deciding, and you do believe in God. Right. I think that's the unequal yoke.
Pre-marriage.
Pre-marriage stuff.
Once you're married, if someone gets converted, you stay.
Yeah, exactly. But I also like what happens. You were talking about like they stay. I'm like, if I wouldn't say that to somebody who's in something that is like, I'll use a gay relationship that's married.
Sure.
And they came to me and they said, what do I do? Well, if in a country like this, we support each other, we're doing this. I'm like, the Bible is clear to me on some of that stuff. And so that's why I go with, you can still, if you married and you're in that relationship and you're showing support to two wives and you're literally like, this person could starve if you say I'm done with you, you're out. Like, I don't think that's what we should be doing. Yeah.
So here's where I'm at though. We had Old Testament biblical people who
did
patriarchs who were married multiple times, kings,
David,
Solomon, Abraham, all these people, they were married to multiple wives. God said he did not want that to happen.
But
he
so I can see there's a difference between that.
And in the New Testament, it doesn't say, it says elders should be the husband. It doesn't say all church members.
I can see the point. I can see the point. Like,
what I'm saying is I think a part of that culture was already to have multiple wives. And in the New Testament, it doesn't say get rid of your second or third wife.
Yeah.
Nowhere does it say that. It just says, hey, if you have a second or third wife, probably shouldn't be an elder in the church.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I can see
anyways, that's just where I'm coming from.
Isn't there a part like in Leviticus where it talks about like you should only be married to one?
Yes, it does. There is part in the Old Testament that says, and even
so
kings.
It says it about kings.
Yeah, it says
it
kings.
doesn't say it about the normal population, which is interesting because back in that culture, if your brother's wife passed, you took on that wife.
Yeah, to take care of
as a support and to procreate
for his name.
To procreate for the name. Anyways, we got wild.
This is crazy.
We weren't going there.
I started smiling at that because that would be totally weird.
Yeah, it would be totally weird in today's culture.
Yeah, so I got to marry you now.
Yeah. But I think we have different statuses and different ways to take care of that now.
Yes.
Anyways, this is not what we do on this podcast. But
we
for
talk
some
about
reason,
events. Well, sorry, Malawi got.
Malawi, you got. Way to hijack us again.
But we have an awesome event coming up. I'll mention.
Let's go into our events. What events are coming up in our conference?
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Do we have any marriage conferences?
We do. You can check that on our website. But that's not for youth and young adult because they're probably not in that right now. Some of them are. But we have Connect, which is our ACF, which is a public campus ministry group that comes for a retreat. We come this weekend, so it's at the camp. So it's all registered for. You can't come to it.
Too late if you want to register.
But if you're thinking about going to public school, public university, you could in the future. So anyways, but that's
why you should have registered last month when we talked about it then.
Exactly.
Now you're missing out if you didn't listen last week. So listen every week.
Yeah. Every month.
Every month.
Or you could listen to it every week.
Listen to it every week to remind yourself.
Yeah. But then we have our this is the youth and young adult departments, one really big event that we join together, and we want, be awesome if every single person of the conference was there. We wouldn't fit, but we'd figure out.
Let's try
it.
Hey, they fit 300 people in a place where they fit 20 in Malawi.
That's true. We could do it.
They put us to shame.
Yes, let's do it. So it's Regenerate, March 7th. So PJ, tell us something about that.
Yeah, March 7 is our youth and young adult festival, which is basically a time where we celebrate what God is doing through the youth and young adults of our conference. And it's a Sabbath school church service. We stay there through lunch, and in the afternoon we have some breakouts specifically designed for either young adults or youth. And then after that, we kind of have an expression session, which is a time where if you're nominated beforehand, if you want to do it, talk to your pastor or your youth leader, or
young adult leader. We're trying to get young adult leaders in all the churches. Yeah.
Exactly. Talk to the leader who knows about Regenerate and get nominated to be a part of that. And that's just our youth and young adults sharing their talents.
Usually it's music, but it could be painting. It could be something else. Yeah.
It could be a skit.
A skit or a poem or something. Yeah.
Someone did a poem one year that was amazing.
Yep.
So you could do that, and then after that we have our last session, and so
who's the speaker?
Cody Page, Pastor Cody Page,
amazing preacher.
He's an amazing preacher. He's a great preacher. He will bring the thunder. So come out to that event. It starts at 9:45. Doors open at 9:15. If you are a youth and a young adult, this is specifically designed for you. Please come out.
We'd love to see. I think I did some numbers in Georgia Cumberland. There's over 10,000 young adults. I don't know the youth numbers, but I'm like, let's get them all there. Let's do it.
Let's get them. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah. So I'd love to see you guys there. Anything else coming? You got some big thing coming up this summer.
Yeah, summer camp again. I'll just keep promoting summer camp. Yeah. So this is for any age. There's a summer camp thing going on. So if you're a kid, obviously come to camp. If you're a youth or a young adult and want to do summer camp ministry, it is an amazing ministry. It is a life-changing ministry. And it is something we would love for you to be a part of. We even pay you a little bit to do it. It's not the most lucrative job in the world monetarily, but spiritually, it's amazing. It's amazing. So if you're interested, we're still looking for a few spots. Go to our website. You can apply there to work there, or you can apply there if you have young kids who want to be a part of going to camp.
It's an awesome experience. And we got camp meeting coming up. We'll talk about that next month. But we got some other things looking forward to. So what's your get to know you question?
Let's introduce officially. So Pastor Day once again. But we didn't ask, where do you serve as the pastor?
I like to say in Valdosta, Florida.
North Florida. It's really in Georgia, but we joke about North Florida because it's 5 minutes. 3 miles?
Yeah, 5 minutes. Essentially, yeah.
All right. I pulled four random cards.
It's on 75, right as we go down.
On 75, on your way to Florida. Yep. Florida is, it's right. Actually, I used to live in Florida at some point.
And pastor
in Georgia, so every day I would go between the two states.
It's not that far. So.
Yeah.
All right. This is just a random question we ask our people.
Okay.
Our visitors. It's just table topic questions. And so this is, what have you lost that you would like to find? This is kind of a tough question.
It could be silly. It could be,
Is there anything that you've lost that you would like to find?
Wow. I mean, I don't want a lot of dead airspace here.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we could just pause this for a while.
That actually just makes me, this is very pastoral.
Do it. Do it.
Now, I just think of the, Amazing Grace. I once was lost, but now I'm found.
Yeah.
So I just kind of think of, I was lost. And now I'm found.
Well, when you said that, there's like people in my life that long term, like I have a relative, I'm not going to get any more specific than that I would love to see accept Jesus. Like those type of things. So, like, I guess you would say I haven't lost them, but it by all outward signs, it seems like they've rejected the truth, God. And so I'd love to see them come back. Going that way.
That question is so abstract. I mean, even when you mentioned that, so my dad was literally, he went missing. And it's I love my dad, and I suppose in a very spiritual sense, and I actually believe this in some so I believe that God, his main objective is to save us, right? So just kind of how everything happened, he went missing in El Salvador, and this was before the current president. So
I was like, how long ago was this?
This was 2003.
Okay,
so
yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So we never had like an official memorial because I mean he was missing. So
you don't know. Wow.
But I'd love to see my dad again, just on a very like spiritual level. And I do actually believe that I have my theory about everything that happened and sort of like where he was spiritually. So I think I will see him again. So that'd be really nice. Also,
that question got like really.
Let me maybe lighten up the. So if you guys notice here, you guys can't see. I have like a weird looking pinky.
He does. I will agree.
Oh yeah, we connected on this.
I mean,
don't you have?
I have a weird thumb, but I can describe. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you do have an interesting pinky.
It was chopped off.
Oh.
So like, I mean, that was lost.
Yeah.
But then they found it, the piece.
Were they?
They can't put it back, or did they?
It's a funny story.
Is that put back on, or is that not put back on?
So it's just sewed over. So I'll tell the story because it's funny.
Yeah.
So
I lost my finger. It's funny.
Well, I actually lost it in Spalding.
Did you?
Yeah, it was like a social
elementary school up in Collegeville.
Yeah. So you know how they have in the gym, the walls have they become like the door. There's like storage.
Okay. Yeah.
And you close it, and it becomes the wall
underneath the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the volleyball people, we were playing basketball, and the volleyball people, like, got all the material for volleyball, and they didn't close it all the way. So like, someone stepped on my shoe when I was doing a fadeaway, and on my way to like kind of catch myself, I somehow slipped my pinky inside the crack, and I shut the door on myself.
You shut the door on yourself
because I was falling.
Yeah.
And so like, so.
Yeah. I'll just his pinky looks like it has a helmet on it.
Yeah,
like that's really what the nail curves
like
around
because
the top.
the nail's curling around.
Sam, like from the cereal.
I just thought you grew that nail out a little
Everybody
longer.
Thinks that, and they're like, "What's going on?" No.
Play guitar with that pinky.
So the funny part of the story is, well, it's people were like looking for my. This is when I was a student at Southern, and so like. The nursing major was like, put your hand up, like you got to keep it in the air. And everybody was like looking for my finger, my pinky tip. And then somebody's like, I found it.
What happened?
I went to the ER, and then I should have gotten a hand specialist, but I didn't. So it was just a random general doctor. So he was like, kind of like a puzzle piece trying to put it together. And I was like looking at him, and I was like, hey, doc, I think it's upside down. So like I'm helping him,
well, it is your finger.
I think it's upside down. So like, he flips it, and then like a puzzle piece, it just kind of fits. And then I see like my regular finger, and I look at it, and I get this sort of like sigh of relief, like, okay, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
He's just going to sew it back together. And then he like, just tosses it behind him. It's like, it's not going to work. So I'm like, what?
Duct tape that thing. It'll work.
Yeah. And so he just kind of sewed the skin that was there over like the bone. And thankfully my nail matrix, even though he yanked the nail, that was still there.
Oh,
so anyway,
I've had that happen. That's not fun when the doctor, when they pull the nail, it's not fun.
It's a little weird because he shifted like my skin. So now if like I touch a certain part of it, it feels in my brain like it's up here or something.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. So, do you have a fingerprint on that finger?
I guess
you can commit a crime.
Yeah. No,
just as long as you leave that one.
Just you do everything.
Kind of half of a fingerprint.
Okay. Yeah, but it's kind of covered by your fingernail there.
Yeah.
Sorry for those of you who can't see it, but it's fascinating now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I lost my finger
and found it, but don't have it.
I found it, but then the doc threw it away.
That's got
no respect.
But I'm blown away by your dad's story.
Yeah.
That's. Who knew that question would bring that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
and so, but I guess I can find my dad. I suppose. I think he's not with us. I mean, he went missing in El Salvador.
But you do wish you could find him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
of
question.
Course,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is the perfect question for that kind of really
Yeah.
deep. Yeah, because I was going to say some shirt that I lost as a kid or a toy, and he comes in with the, wow, that's amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
man. There's true. I hate looking for, like, you think you know exactly where something is. I'll grab it when I get home and it's not there. Then you have no clue. Those type of things. I hate that.
You ever like hide something so well because it needed to be hidden well,
Yes.
but then it was
Yeah.
so well hidden that you don't remember where it's
No,
at.
Well,
I never need to hide something
for
that
me and
much.
my-
This is weird that you have to hide something that well. That sounds illegal.
Sometimes
I
a
mean-
gift. Sometimes a gift.
Yeah,
you
like
hide
a
it.
gift.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all
I've had a
right.
gift
Okay.
before.
Or like some money for later.
Yeah.
You know, like put in a
Once
safe
again,
place.
this sounds really weird, but okay. You gotta hide money.
Hey, I've hidden money in like my wallet, and then I forgot that it was there.
Yeah,
like no, like I'm not hide it. Like
Not- yeah, like you just put it in a safe place.
Yes.
That's just a better way to say
So
it.
my wallet, you've seen my wallet. It's if I put it on the
There's
outside.
no place to hide anything in your wallet.
So you
there
think.
is. No, just
Hey,
kidding.
so you're hiding it well.
Yeah, and then I forget it's there. And then I'm like, oh man, that reminded me of the joke the guy said. You know, when you reach your hand in your pocket and find a 20, you're
Yeah.
like super happy. You're like
Right.
amazing. You're like, this has changed my night. I can go order extra
So
food.
maybe hiding is just the wrong word because you just put it in a safe place. That's what it is. So like I have put my social security card in a very safe place, you know, to keep it safe.
Yeah.
But then I can't. It's so safe that I don't know where
I
it's
have
at.
to put it in a safe.
You
Actual
just
safe.
forgot
Yeah.
where you put
Yeah.
it. All
Yeah.
right, all right. The
So-
hiding thing, this sounds a little weird. Okay. Anyways, let's continue to get to know
Yes.
Day. This is interesting. This is
Yeah.
the most we've gotten to know about someone
Yeah, this has
from one
gotta-
little random question.
So you are a pastor in Georgia Cumberland. And you have one church. Trick question.
Yeah.
Okay, one
Yeah,
church,
we got
but
one
you
church.
started something that is called what? What did you guys just recently start?
So we started a mission group. What would be a mission group? Suppose like a little church plant.
So you have the church and a church plant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of like a branch right now, and it's called Nexus.
It's called Nexus, and it's specifically designed how? Like just tell
So
us.
it's specifically for young adults.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's a for the young and the young at heart. Obviously, we're not gonna.
Okay, because
Yeah,
that was
gonna
my
ask
next
you.
question. If
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came
Yeah.
in, were you going to kick me
Yeah.
out?
It could
Absolutely
come,
not.
yeah.
The young and the young at heart. So
It's
but
like for everybody, but designed a church service for young adults. Okay, yeah.
and I mean, arguably, we say it's geared, and so like our target audience, or the people that we're trying to reach is designed for young adults.
Mhm.
So if you're older, that's why I say young and young at heart, right?
Mhm.
Because somebody might come and they're not young at heart, so they're gonna complain about well,
Whatever. Yeah.
there's other places for you to go. So just as long as like what we're trying to do is we're trying to reach the unchurched who are young adults.
Mm.
Okay.
And so we're going to do things a little bit different
Mhm.
than a traditional.
So when
Okay.
someone comes in and let's say they start complaining, do you lead them to your other church?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you like,
that
I got
hasn't-
another
that
place for
yeah,
you? Or do you
absolutely.
like,
Yeah, that hasn't happened, but
Yeah.
if they're looking for something a little more traditional, I suppose,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's plenty of spaces for that.
And I guess one of the nice things it's I've been in a few places where the mission of the church is not clear and it's very difficult. But when your mission is clear, I'll give an example. I was at an academy and everybody knew we were there for the students. Like we were there, like everybody can come, like you're saying, but we are there to mentor and be with the students and have a church service for them, but for everybody as well. But
Yeah.
it's like, so we're there to serve and to help them serve. It was so easy because every board meeting, every time everybody knew the mission. And so I in that respect, I think certain things become easier because
Here's so a lot of I think a lot of older people, and we get to say that because we're old.
yeah.
A lot of people
Well,
like us.
I am officially older than you guys.
Yes,
So.
you are.
They
We won't let you forget.
they know what they know. They know what they grew up with,
Mm-hmm.
and so they get we get stuck
Mhm.
in what we know and what we
Mm-hmm.
like our picture of whatever something could be. And in this case, we're talking about church. So typically there's pushback to any progressive thinking, pushing the envelope or trying to like
Or anything,
change things.
anything
right?
new.
Anything new, right? Just because it's like, no, there's something off about that.
I want
But
to read a quote in a
Yeah.
minute, but go ahead. Keep going.
But it's interesting because I've always found this to be true throughout my ministry, kind of as an observation. usually when something young or is done anyway, something new is done anyway, the older generation comes. So oddly enough, we launched this thing back in November. So it's been not even 6 months yet, right? But a lot of older folk have come and they love it. So, and in my mind, I won't tell them this, but I was like, this is what I was trying to do over here, which you guys were like pushing back on. But now that, now that you see it,
right,
it's hard for them to catch that vision, I guess. So
sure.
You found that quote?
No, almost. Keep,
okay,
here it is. I just found it. Okay,
go.
And this is how I loved how it was presented. And so I'm going to say how he introduced the quote. This guy speaking at a conference I was recently at, and he said, "Someone far more progressive than me said," and he puts the words on the screen. Also saw the need for new and creative efforts. We are to study the field carefully and not to think that we must follow the same methods in every place. Whatever may have been your former practice, it's not necessarily to repeat it again and again in the same way. God would have new and untried methods followed. Ellen White. I'm like, that's awesome. That's so good.
Absolutely.
Well, something that resonated here with me about what you were saying is that it sounds like you were trying to do stuff at your church.
Yeah.
And then wasn't really being seen. So then you started some stuff at Nexus.
Yeah.
And then people have caught on to that, which is interesting. I love that concept because obviously if you weren't able to do it in another place, you built a safe space to try something new, which I think is a cool idea.
Well, I think God did this. Like this whole thing, he did it. But it's just interesting, especially when you think about like your own ministry, and I guess God gives you certain ideas. So even just with the name, that's a funny story because
I was going to say the name is interesting. I just looked up the definition. Do you know?
Nexus is such a power word.
It's a powerful word, but I wouldn't have been able to define it if you said, "Hey, define Nexus."
Nah, I just thought it was some kind of cool matrixy techie.
No. Go ahead.
According, again, first thing that popped up, but it says a connection or series of connections linking two things together. I'm like, that's awesome.
Nice.
Like that's so
right.
Cool. Relationships.
And so we're connecting, and that's part of like. I like the word Nexus because not everyone I think knows what it means, and some people think of I think there's a hairspray called Nexus.
But there's also something isn't there something with technology called Nexus? There's something.
Yeah. There's another
I don't
Nexus.
know. Anyways,
But it's a connection, right? And so like we're trying to connect people with people, you know. But the other connection, right? Because it's a series of connections, and so we're trying to connect them with God. So like Nexus becomes the location, like that intersection where all these things connect.
I love it.
So a couple years back, our church, the name of our church it's Park Avenue. So it's the name of the street.
Okay.
And so what was happening with me, and this is a couple years back, what was happening with me was that I was in the community talking to people, and you guys are probably, familiar with this. So what do you do? I'm a pastor. And so I would, where are you pastoring at? Oh, I pastor at Park Avenue. And this is like when I first came into church. So, I hadn't been there that long. And people would say like, oh, I've gone there before. And I'm like, really? And then they'd say stuff that wouldn't fit what I think. And so come to find out, there's literally another Park Avenue.
I went there Sunday and it was a great Sunday school. And,
that church has done such a fantastic job in like getting known in the community where almost every time I want to say maybe once in the last 4 years, once or twice has anyone said like, oh, the Adventist church. They always think of the other one.
Yeah.
So about 3 years ago, I said, hey guys, I'm out in the community, and as I'm talking, like people don't know us. And the other church has just done a great job at so why like not compete? Like let's take this opportunity to change our names, rebrand, and pick a power word. And so like I thought of Nexus. I'm like, Nexus is kind of a cool word, but it was just too like
it's like whoa.
So and Park Avenue is very like family, like that's kind of like their DNA. So I thought even family Seventh-day Adventists would be pretty cool, but they were just like, they voted it down. But point is, they, after discussion, whatever, they voted it down and they kept it at Park Avenue. And so I had created this whole like thing, and I don't know how, in coming up with like what we now call Nexus, the young adult church, they're the ones who, I'm forgetting the exact story, but they found out. Oh no, I remember now. So some of the people that were there during like when I was trying to say like we should change our name, some of the young people, fast forward now to like 2-3 years later, they're talking to like the new young adults that are at the church, and they're saying like, oh, well, what about Nexus? Remember that name? And so like, I was even hesitant because I was like, nah, then everybody's just going to think like I had this all planned. And they picked it. They're like, no, we love that name. And
That's
so I'm
awesome.
like, they picked it. So, but the point I'm making is, back then I was kind of disappointed, but it was like, God was like, you don't know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen.
I'm going to use that same name for this,
It's the other thing that I was thinking about as, this concept of doing something because, and now other people are seeing the value in it.
Yep.
Right. This, to me, I'm wondering if this is a good eye-opening. I think this should be a good eye-opening experience of what would happen if we just let the youth and young adults in our churches take over a little more
and
spread
mentor
their
more.
ideas.
Yeah.
And instead of having to have the two churches, we could have just, and maybe in this community, we did need that. Maybe that's the Lord saying, hey, we did need that. Or is it sometimes our own closed-mindedness to change?
Yeah.
And letting the young generation kind of breathe into our church something new. I mean, it's this interesting concept where obviously something powerful is happening because some of the older folks are coming and being like, hey, this is cool.
Yeah.
There's a couple of stories.
Yeah.
And if I say it, I guess the people who, anyway.
You don't have to share those stories. I don't know anything about anyone, so I can say anything I want.
I think it's valuable mentioning it.
Yeah.
But so when I first came into church, I was very genuinely and openly, hey, my passion is youth and young adults. So, I'll be the lead pastor of your church, and we're going to obviously take care of everything. But I love youth and young adults. So when everything runs smoothly, which never really happened, I'm going to work with youth. Right. So by
the way, I think that's a huge, a big thing. I think if all of our pastors could, even if they can't do all the stuff with youth and young adult, if they care about youth and young adult ministry, I think we have to, because they realize they might not do it. They'll get a leader in. They'll get we have to do that. And I loved. We just watched a video. About how youth ministry was started, and it was all in them serving. Yeah. Like, it's not all of them, like, we're going to serve you, we're going to do stuff for you. No, it's all in them, getting them in mission and getting them on to serving. Yeah, I love it.
Well, if you haven't heard any of my podcast stuff, this is all I talk about. Yeah. If we do not get them involved, if we do not pick their brains, if we do not act like they're important, and not as in
fill this role the way we want it.
Well, I mean, sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need it, but we don't trust them enough.
Yes.
With the leadership that God has called them to give.
Yep.
I mean, I always say one of my favorite stories is the feeding of the 5,000, right? Mm-hmm. Only John mentions that it was a boy, right? I believe it's because he's the youngest. And he has nothing he literally, according to 5,000, has nothing to offer. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone could have just said, hey, why don't you just grow up? You're the future of our church. Become a doctor, make money. One day you'll be able to feed everyone. Jesus said, no, he has what he needs already to bless you if you just let him give it.
Mm-hmm. And it's about empowering.
So
the question I was asked in this meet and greet was, what, because I said, I work with youth and young adults, and they're like, but we're concerned because they need the meat of the word. They don't like, are you going to just give them the milk? And I was like, kind of like looking at them, because I guess in their mind, youth and young adults was like lights and smoke and like
games and the Noah story,
pizza night, and I was just like, of course. To me, it's like it didn't even make sense, the question.
Right.
Yeah.
So fast forward now, part of the same family is like, oh, Nexus is we're hearing great things, and like people are going. And what I really like about it is that they're talking about really deep subjects and, like getting really in
Into
the
it,
word and, they're not afraid. And so I felt like the way they were telling me as if I somehow believe that. And I'm like, no, like you don't know what young adults talk about if you give them the platform. So it's so powerful. I think there's just a hesitancy, but really all powerful movements were started by young people. I mean, just think of like Apple, Google, like
our church.
Who's running those huge successful companies?
Yeah,
it's
who's starting them is definitely
it's a bunch of young people.
Yep.
Well, think about this. Not only in our church, started by youth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cultural things in the popular world are started.
Mm-hmm.
All the popular music is the youngest people. When they get to a certain age, they stop being influential.
Mentors, and they become mentors to
then they start producing and this kind of stuff. But if you notice, their music is most of the time, it's not revolutionary anymore.
For the people who, it's like nostalgia. It's like the people
the old people, I love their music or I love this band, but it's like it's all the young bands. And once they become older, people are like, they're not what they used to be.
Weren't Jesus' disciples?
Very young. They were very young.
I mean, all movements.
Yeah. So we need to allow them to, like you said, share ideas, to serve.
Well, by the way, Jesus was a young adult according to
according to our measurement.
According to our measurements, he was a young
35,
adult. 30 is when he started his ministry.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And
his disciples were much younger too.
Let's talk about when he was 12, just like having these debates with the religious leaders of the time. I mean, and one thing to say, right, and I think it's important to say, so like part of the DNA of Nexus, and even when I got this idea, I think the Lord gave it to me, is this the 80-20 principle, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that the older generation, and I see where they're coming from, because I think they don't want to become irrelevant. And that's part of them holding on to the keys, holding on to the, not giving it away, because they don't want to be forgotten. They want to be relevant and important, and they want to contribute. So from the beginning, but what I've seen, and you guys have probably seen it too, is that whenever a young person has an idea, and I've seen it happen right before my eyes, like the older people just shut it down. They're like, and then I could see in the face of that young person who was just like, took the courage to come in and do a pitch and do a proposal, just like get shut down. And like, I can see in their demeanor and their face, just being discouraged. And I'm just like, just give them a chance. Yeah. And so what happens is, I think the older people have too much power, voting power or whatever. It's not balanced enough.
Well,
so
I think they don't.
I thought,
go ahead.
So I thought, why don't we we don't want to get rid of the older generation because they bring wisdom, and I don't think it's biblical anyway for just young people to be together.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like 80% young people, 20% older people who are mentoring the young. So,
well, I think I don't know if we get tempted to not want to lose, you're talking about influence or status or whatever it is. And the best way to hold on to influence and status, I think, is to become a mentor. Yeah. But we get tricked and we think we got to hold on to the, I think as you get older, you try to hold on to that, and it's the worst thing to do. But if you see, and when I see it, an elderly person pour into young people, like even grandkids, even if it's just your grandkids, but I also see it at church when they have young people over. I've seen a ministry of young adults blow up because one of the reasons was a grandmother figure had them over and did bonfires. And she is more alive in the church, I believe, because she's pouring into people, not because she's trying to hold on to whatever voting power. So I think we trick ourselves when we do that, when we don't start to mentor. I heard someone say that everybody is going to leave the church, whether you die or whether you get offended and walk away. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody's leaving the church. So we need to be pouring into somebody else.
Absolutely.
To carry that farther. Yeah.
I mean, I wish we could do a perfectly 50-50 split of everyone. Yeah. I mean, that's what the church is. The church is a living, breathing entity. God, Paul describes it as a body, and every part has a part. Every part has a part.
Yeah, every part has a part.
I was looking for that word and it wasn't coming.
Has a part to play.
And even the ones he says that seem the most insignificant are the most important.
Like the tip of
are
the
valuable.
pinky.
Are like the tip.
Well,
obviously not the tip of the pinky, because he threw that one away.
I grieved for this.
Yeah, I was
I'm
like,
sure
you felt
I didn't know it at the time, but in hindsight, I was like, I think I went through the grieving process.
That was my point, though. And you mentioned earlier that sometimes you'll bump a spot and you'll feel like it's on one side of your hand, but it's so what I'm saying is you still notice that it's not there.
Yeah.
And people still
Oh, yeah.
notice that it's so like it is a big deal when the tiniest little piece.
If that doctor would have just realized how important that little piece was,
what I'm saying,
You know,
is,
and just mentored it.
yeah,
Just sorry.
So I heard that pine sap afterwards. Like I met somebody in class who had their fingers chopped off, and they said pine sap, like
Oh.
preserved it from the pinky from rotting long enough where it connected. And I said, "Where were you?" Like,
we
Yeah,
give
where were you
no
when
medical
I-
advice on this podcast.
Yeah,
do not follow
That's,
that.
the medical advice on this podcast does not reflect the
views
thoughts
of-
and views of the Georgia Cumberland Conference. Only Day.
I heard it on the podcast. I could just use sap and it'll fix my broken hand. No, and yeah.
All right.
you were saying about I think this idea of 50-50,
Well,
that is ideal.
that's ideal.
Yeah.
The
We don't live in an ideal world, but yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the 2080 is to allow the young people to have their ideas. So if I may, so Nexus is actually even just we want to do church. So there's a couple of radical ideas. Number one, we're doing church in like the afternoon instead of the
Stop
morning.
the podcast.
No.
Just
The
kidding.
ideas of Day do not reflect. No,
No, just kidding.
that's fine.
That's awesome.
We're doing church in the afternoon because we thought like, okay, Sabbath is supposed to be about rest, right? And typically, anybody grown up at church, like you have to get up in the morning
To milk the cows.
early.
I mean, don't. That's
Yeah,
what you guys.
and one of the arguments that always is kind of gets me is like, oh, so you can get up to go to work early, but you can't get up to go to church early. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to work, and Sabbath is
Day of
rest.
rest,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
if there's any day that you should be able to sleep in,
Right.
it should be the Sabbath. And just picture this.
Or do it more in a relaxed way.
In a relaxed way, you
Yeah.
have breakfast with your family, you do family time, you might do lunch. And after lunch, all right, guys, let's get ready to go to church. And then you have your 3 hours of church. So
Yeah.
that's one radical thing that's happening. And then the second thing is like the sermon time or it's a podcast. It's a live podcast in front of a live audience
Really?
that we're
Wow.
going to be recording kind of like this one and, just keeping it on there.
Can you say, is that on? Is that live right now? I mean, not
Is that
live,
somewhere
but
where
is
what
that-
I
people
was
can
gonna-
find it?
If I could plug,
Yes,
just go
please,
to nexussda.org.
and if
nexussda.org.
we'll put that in the description of this as well. So if you look in the description, you can find it.
So
yeah.
it's not live yet.
Okay.
So we are waiting for some equipment to come in, and it's been ordered. But in the next month or two, we're gonna launch our first episode. So if you sign up to our email list,
And I was going to say, well, when that becomes live, if you're already on the youth and young adult or it's young adult newsletter, you will get that. You can also subscribe to that on our website. But
excellent.
so if you want to get either one or both of them, we'll let you know when that comes out. It'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we've been having great conversations, and after the podcast session, we open it up to like 10, 20 minutes of Q&A, or if somebody wants to, and that has been super powerful because we're giving now the audience an opportunity to speak on the things
Interactive.
we've been speaking. So,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
good.
That's
Wow.
good stuff. Man, that's some good ideas.
That's awesome. Is it going to be recorded like video or just audio right now?
Video as
Okay.
well. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah. If you notice, ours isn't video because our faces aren't
Yeah. We
video worthy.
We could have shown the pinky.
We could have.
We could've
We
done
should
video.
have. That
Video.
would have been exciting. But
We went
maybe
to
we
co-
need a camera just at the guest.
We went to
because people don't want to
communications.
see us dead.
Yeah.
People don't want to see us.
We went to communications. They said, "You two, no, you can't."
No, not you guys.
That is a possibility we're looking at. I don't know if we currently will be able to do it, and we're in my office right now that maybe doesn't have the best setup for video, but we'd love to do that sometime. But then we show them. The
Yeah, something for you guys to look forward
to
to.
in someday. Yeah, not look forward to. Look forward to seeing our guests.
Well, hey, we want to thank you so much for listening. Day, thank you for joining us
Yes.
and telling us about Nexus and
Yeah,
the wonderful things
absolutely.
that God is doing through you. I want to thank you for serving the youth and young adult of our conference.
Yeah.
He's on the young adult council
Yep.
and has helped with a few youth things as well. So I just
Can
want
I
to thank
put
you.
in one more
Yes,
plug? in
Yeah,
here?
please do.
You guys
I
were
mean, it
talking
depends
about
on what it
events.
is, but yeah, no, go
Well,
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna on record here, Jeff. You're invited to. We have a youth retreat that we do.
Youth and
every-
young adult.
Youth and young, correct?
all
Yes,
right.
thank you. Youth and young adult retreat that we do. So a couple of churches get together, but really, it's whoever wants to come,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's as big as we want.
It's mostly in
make
South Georgia, but you have some people coming from
No,
Collegedale
Pastor
came before.
Keith-
Yeah,
yeah.
Keith came from
Yeah,
Collegedale.
so
Yeah.
It's really anyone who wants to come, and we've done it in Gatlinburg before. It's usually a 4-day weekend. What I love about this retreat is I remember going to retreats when I was a kid, and it was like Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday you're going home. And I always had this feeling of like, man, I didn't even get Sabbath was so full of, good stuff,
Yeah.
spiritual stuff, but I went home thinking like I didn't even get to enjoy
The people,
the place.
yeah.
So what we do is we do that, but Sunday we keep it in the morning. We have something spiritual, but then we pretty much it's free time for you to enjoy the camp or wherever we're at, and then in the evening we'll do something, and then on Monday we do a worship and everybody goes home. So
And that's in September.
yeah.
And we'll advertise on our newsletter for that. And here again, as we get closer,
Yeah.
it's not. I say, and this is what I tell everybody because we get asked, can we advertise this at our church? So we advertise stuff. I have the big three: Regenerate, camp meeting, and youth and young adult retreat at the camp. But this is one of those that like we'll advertise, but it's not necessarily one of the big three. That's what I tell people. So but it's awesome. I've been to it once for a little bit in the afternoon, Sabbath afternoon. It's a great event.
I'm going to
Hey,
be
you're
there
gonna
that
be
year,
there?
so it's going to be one of the big
It's gonna
three.
be the
So
best.
just letting you know.
One of
go.
Jonathan's big three.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So
See, this is why you don't get invited.
Yeah, notice how we did him. Well, it's not one of the big three, but go ahead and do it.
and I'll say the reason I do that, just for those listening, I think it's important because we want the youth and young adult, as you're doing, involved in the local churches,
Yeah.
and we see at Southern, we see at other institutions that they're out so much, and to develop a community like in Nexus or in anywhere else, you've got to be in the church. And so, how do we still have events? Because I think those are powerful. Those can be transformative, but also still allow them to get grounded in their local church. So that's why we.
But I will promote this one because this is put on by a local church.
Promote
it's
it.
not put on by the
I
conference.
said I'll promote it.
I'm just going to be there. As long as it's not put on by me, anyways. Pastor Day, thank you again.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry for Jeff's.
Always.
Yeah.
I like to break things.
Yeah, he likes to break things. And thank you, by the way, everyone, for listening to our Young Echo podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully this was a valuable thing, and come to some of our events and be on the lookout for all the wonderful things that the youth and young adults are doing in our conference.
And we have an awesome one for March. We won't tell you what it is, but it's awesome. All right.
It's one of the big
So, hey,
three.
I'm PJ and I'm out.
I'm PG and I'm out.
Pastor Day, thanks for having me.